Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to another episode of this Football Manager Career Mode. Today we are going back into it with a cup fixture in the quarter-final of the FA Cup. As you look down here against West Brom away FA Cup quarter-final. And then, of course, we have a home fixture against Everton, and they are currently 11th in the table, so that's one you'd expect us to be winning. And then we've got that fairly, I don't want to jinx it too much, but fairly easy run to end the season off. So I'm hoping that we can get through with a couple wins, because I think Arsenal got a big win in their previous game. I think it was like 5-1 or something along those lines. So this top four race is really heating up, and we need to be careful that we do not slip out of it. Otherwise, that'd be a bit of a disaster. Something I want to update you guys on, and that is a transfer that I'm looking at making, and that is for Ivan Toney. In this game, he doesn't have a ban, but we're obviously past, I think, where it would have been anyway. But what we're looking at here is, of course, like, I'm sure you guys know him, but I think I got a deal signed for about 37 million, somewhere around there. And we're just waiting to get into the contract negotiations. Do you guys think Ivan Toney is a player that we should be bringing in when, of course, we got Jackson, we got Broja, but given our troubles of goal scoring so far in this sort of second half of the series so far, I'm a little bit worried about it, and we miss a lot of penalties. That's one thing I've noticed as well, and he's got 19 penalty taking. He's, of course, a good finisher. We'd be playing him in this role, so he doesn't have like the most amazing stats, but his composure, his finishing, his technique is good. Of course, we know he's very physical and tall as well. The key things that I like to look at when I'm looking for players is that he is a consistent performer and relishes big matches. I think that is two of the key things that you can get in a player, even if they're not maybe the greatest player in the world. They have maybe like 13 finishing, and all these stats are a little lower. If they're consistent and they enjoy a big match, that is something I very much value in a player. So I'm thinking, he's 27. He could be, I think Nicholas Jackson and Broja are both like 21 years old. So you're looking at a player that sort of can be the experienced head, get us through the next couple of seasons. And then Broja and Nicholas Jackson, one of them probably would have to go out on loan. That is the downside. Probably going to be Armando Broja, even though he's performed better. I think we can justify that a bit better than someone that we're paying 100 grand a week that we just brought in, to be sending him out on loan. And I have a lot of faith in him to come good as well. He's improving steadily. So what do you guys think? Is Ivan Toney a player that we should be bringing in? And then another thing that I'm looking at is signing a goalkeeper, because I'm really not happy with Robert Sanchez. When Kepa comes back, I'd look to be moving him on permanently. So whatever the situation is with that, I want a new top-tier goalkeeper. And the two that I've currently got sort of shortlisted is Trubin, a Ukrainian goalkeeper out at Benfica, pretty much the same height as Robert Sanchez, and is very, very good in the air. Handling is pretty good, maybe not so great in his commanding of the area, and one-on-ones is probably his weakest area. He's only got 12, but reflexes of 15. He's only 21 years old. So he's a keeper that, is going to grow and grow throughout the years, and has got some pretty good stats out at Benfica already this season. And then the other one is, of course, Diogo Costa. He is a top-tier keeper in Europe at the moment. A little bit shorter, so he's 6'1", so he's not going to have that, dominant, just plucking the ball out of the air when it comes to like corners and stuff. But his kicking is outstanding. His one-on-ones are outstanding. His reflexes are outstanding. So he is another top-tier choice. And we haven't got a crazy amount of money to spend. You'd think, being Chelsea we do, but when you consider how much we've spent, how much we're offsetting with these long-term contracts every year, we can't afford to be pushing the boat out too much on our transfers unless we make some big sales. So as it stands, I think I'd probably be leaning more towards Diogo Costa. He's more of a, a solution for now rather than Trubin, who would be a fantastic keeper, I'm sure, still, but maybe is a little bit light at the moment and, needs a few more years until he's like top tier. Let me know what you guys think on that one. But of course, we have a game today. Man United are taking on Brentford, and West Brom are taking on the mighty Chelsea. And we beat Manchester United in the last episode, and I just want to remind everyone of that because it was a fantastic result for us. And Kunku is finally back fit. Man United beating Brentford here with Roslev getting a red card late on. And there is also a Premier League fixture, but we're going to focus on our game here. And we're going to go through, and of course, Reece James is still suspended. It's maybe not the worst thing that he's suspended in a game that you'd expect to win, even though West Brom have got to the quarterfinals, which is fantastic. One of his 3-game ban will be in the cup competition here. So he, of course, is not eligible to play. We will play Malo Gusto, even though Malo Gusto rarely performs for us, if we're being real. And what do we need to do here? So there's... How long have we got? We got a big old break to the next game. I think there might even be... Is there an international break? Yeah, because that's quite a long break. So this is where we need to basically go full strength. And I want to get a bit of form back in the lads. We beat Man United, so now we need to kick on and go and get, more goals, more wins under our belt. And I'm pretty happy with the team as it is. Enzo Fernandez could use a rest, and I can see the logic there. So maybe I do bring Nkunku back into the fray. We bring Andre Santos off the bench. And we've always got Cole Palmer. Come on, I know Nkunku isn't quite sharp yet, but apparently he can perform well in this role. So I'm going to try him in this one, even though Shadow Striker is how I would have played him myself. We'll try him in this role. And I think it's probably a good game to get Mudryk on the pitch, because he has been in some pretty torrid form. So against a, lesser opposition, even though West Brom have done fantastic to get to this stage of the competition, I think this could be a good game for us to test out Mudryk again and see if we can get him back into a bit of form. And here we go, straight from kickoff, we have a highlight. So let's hope it's us getting a nice early goal, and this game will be nice and comfortable, because if it's us conceding, I'm going to be fuming. And Nkunku going through here finds Armando Broja, and he shoots and he scores. And if that didn't vindicate my decision to play Nkunku, 20 seconds in, we are a goal up. We have possession again here as Chilwell finds the ball out wide. He's going to drive us forward and look to make a pass surely here. Or is he just going all the way and going to cross? He tried to cross, it didn't quite work out. Gallagher wins it back for us though, and Nkunku does get pressed then, tackled off the ball. Lavia looks to go over the top, but that ball is just a little short. But we find Broja in the box. He shoots and it's just off the post. Nkunku's going to whip this one in, I think. Oh my gosh, he went for goal and it wasn't far off. The keeper was rooted to his spot there. Gallagher on the ball in midfield here. He's driving us forward. Gonna look to find a forward pass surely. Nope, he goes, wow, I couldn't have been more wrong. He finds the goalkeeper somehow from the right wing position. But we do still have possession of the ball here. Now Colwell's going to look to take us forward. Man, the players are playing very defensively right now. We need to look to go forward at some point here, lads. Gallagher turning, finding Sterling, finds Nkunku, and he does lose out of the ball, but Gusto finds it back, and Broja tries to attack it, but can't quite get anything. Malo Gusto finds Sterling in the box. He can't turn and shoot. We are putting on a lot of pressure on West Brom here. Really sort of turning up the dial and trying to get that second goal as Lavia puts a ball through for Broja. It's beautiful, and it's a great composed finish. Lavia on the ball now. What I've noticed is Nkunku is performing so much better in this role. What a long ball up to Broja that is, though, as he looks to shoot and get his hat-trick, and there it is. Conor Gallagher finding Broja, and he has scored a hat-trick in the FA Cup quarter-final. Nkunku's going to whip this one into the box, looking for someone in there, but we can't quite find a blue shirt. As we're putting pressure on them here, and they force to go long, but they won the header, but we will mop that one up. As we now have Fafana on the ball, finding Malo Gusto, who's had a much better game than usual from this right back position, which I'm happy to see. Sterling in the box here, almost going out of play, finding Malo Gusto, who finds Broja, and he headers in, and it is 4 goals for Armando Broja. Look at this guy shine. He's hearing me talking about signing Ivan Toney, and he's like, don't even think about it, boss. Wow, and we are 4-0 up at half-time. This couldn't have gone much better, honestly. I needed a bit of a game to lift the boys up, and yeah, we have to say that they've been blown away, West Brom have today. And I think that's enough for Nkunku today. We don't want to risk it too much, but you got a good half there. And I think it's time to bring on Cole Palmer in that role. And you know what? We're comfortably winning here, so I think now's the time to get some of the lads that don't get too much playing time on the pitch for a good half of football. I'll probably make a defensive change in the second half. I don't really want to bring Broja off because I want to see how many goals he can score today. West Brom looking to attack now as they move into our box. They shoot, and it's an awful save from Robert Sanchez. And if that isn't more of an indication for us to be replacing him, I don't know what is, because that is an awful goal to concede. He saves it, fair enough, but to palm it directly into the path of the attacker is just shocking. And yeah, I think this is more signs that we just need a better goalkeeper. Broja in the box again, he shoots, but it is saved. That was a really good save, in all fairness. I wish I had a goalkeeper that could do that. West Brom looking to get back into this game, but we just about snuff out that attack, and they're getting me a little bit worried. West Brom they're looking to attack us. I mean, we have only got a 3-goal lead at this point, so I guess anything's possible. But we find Mudryk here further up the pitch, and then a great ball over to Malo Gusto to switch it, and now Madueke driving in the box. Who can he find? He finds Lavia on the edge, who he is fouled. Lovely. And what I'm going to do here, I'm hoping this will actually, take place before the kick is taken. Where is he? Armando Broja is who I'm looking for. I want him to rack up some goals. And it is Broja to take this one. And he's getting ready. He's psyching out the keeper. He steps back. He shoots. He scores. That is 5 goals today for Broja. And what performance that was. That is the end of the game at 5 goals for Armando Broja. That is a top-tier performance. Well, we have the news through that Ivan Toney can be confirmed as a Chelsea signing ready for next season. It would be a fee of 37 million with 2.5 coming after 50 games. So that'd be, a season and a bit more than likely. He would be coming in as a star player. That is the least I could get him to agree to. He wouldn't go anything lower. So he would be starting week in, week out, which is what you'd probably expect from a 27-year-old striker at the club. These are the rest of the bonuses and stuff. But realistically, I'm going to delay this one until after this episode. We finish the next game, of course, because I want to get your guys' opinion. Do you think we need an experienced striker like him that relishes big matches, consistent performing, these things that I mentioned that I personally think are key values in a player I want at my club when I'm managing on Football Manager? I think this would be a good signing. And if we combine that with signing a new goalkeeper, I think the team looks a bit more solid. It seems weird to say after Broja just scored 5 goals in that previous game, but I do think having an experienced striker that is, a bit of a level above could be key for us, and it will also solve one of our major issues at the moment. Because if we take a look at the dynamics, the managerial support is actually quite low, and that is because down here, as you can see, Reece James thinks there is a lack of depth up front, and this issue has been sort of plaguing the squad for a while in that there's a bit of unhappiness and they're not too chuffed with it. So I'm going to delay it for now. I think you can delay it maybe once or twice before it just cancels the deal and the player gets annoyed. So we'll do it for now, and let me know what you guys think in the comment section of this video. But we have the draw here. There's only 4 teams left, of course, and obviously the one we'd be looking for is West Ham. I normally say Tottenham, but given how it's gone for us on this save, maybe not. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. Let's advance. Tottenham play Man United. So we have got the West Ham draw. That I will take all day. But then, of course, we're going to play one of Man United or Tottenham in the final if we get through to it and manage to beat West Ham. Man United, we know we're capable of beating. Spurs, not so much. One thing I also wanted to show you is that we got our youth sort of candidates come through, and we are supposedly, it never turns out this way, but it says that we've got a potential golden generation. And one of the top players, this Dave Reeve guy, I want to show you his stats, because look at this guy. For a 15-year-old, he's already got a beard going, for God's sake. And he's also, from midfield, seems to be a bit of a goal scorer. I'm not sure if I'd retrain him as a striker maybe, but he is only 5'8", so I think using him as a Lampard-esque player really could be pretty awesome, because he's got great dribbling, finishing, first touch, passing, the technique ain't bad, teamwork, vision, decisions, composure, like all these stats are brilliant for a 15-year-old kid. So this is one to keep an eye on throughout this save. He's already worth about 30 to 40 million, which is just crazy talk. But this guy genuinely has some amazing stats. And then the other one, Gilberto Rodriguez, is the other one. He's got some, solid stats overall, but not quite that level that we're seeing from the other guy. But there's some good talents in here. I'm very impressed with what we've got coming through. And we also have the news that Diogo Costa has accepted it. I managed to get a deal for about 34 million. I think it's 33.5 to start with, and then an extra 1.5 million And once he plays 20 games at the club, he would be the first team goalkeeper, he'd be the important player, only on a wage of 145 grand a week as well. So overall, we've got these 2 deals ready to go, and I think that sort of fee for a player of his caliber is nuts. I'm gonna delay it just because I want your guys' opinion on this one after this episode. Hopefully we don't have to delay it, another once before Everton, otherwise I'm a bit at risk of it falling through. But overall, I'm glad with those 2 deals. I think that'd be 2 massive signings as well, because when you consider that Ivan Toney is a player that has that consistent performer and he enjoys big matches, and Diogo Costa has them as well. I think that what I always try and focus on is building a spine of a team. So you got your striker, a midfielder, a defender, and a keeper, that your like top tier players fall into those positions. And I think having Ivan Toney up here, Diogo Costa here, and then you've got Colwill, who I'd say is, a top-tier defender at the moment. He's having a brilliant season. He's averaging over a 7 rating for us. In the midfield, typically I think I'd say Fernandes is down here, so I'd count that as an other top player that plays in that position. And then, your wings and stuff, you can supplement with fantastic players and the wing-backs with these 2. So I think that would put our team, up a level. And here we are at the game day of this next set of fixtures, and as you can see, there's some pretty interesting games, but no top teams playing against each other. We're really hoping Brentford can do one over on Man United for us and, keep that pack a little bit behind us, but we're of course focusing on our game first, and unfortunately, we do have a very quick turnaround. We got Everton today and then a 2-day break, and then we play Villa, and they're both sort of hovering around that 10th middle position in the Premier League table. So not too easy fixtures, but we'll have to do it. Opposition instructions are set. It wants us to go a bit more attacking. I think I'm okay with this. This tactic is working good as it is at the moment. Of course, Reece James still suspended. As you can see here, we got a ton of players in on trial. It's just when all the Premier League clubs release a few of their youth players, I always take them in on trial just to see if there's any that they're letting slip through the net. The only one that actually looked decent is this Jimmy Gower guy. He was previously at Arsenal, and he seems to have some pretty good finishing, technique from this midfield position, decently fast as well. So we'll see what he looks like on trial with us, but, these are players that would not be in or around the first team for a long while. But yeah, let's make some changes here. It looks like we've got an absolutely huge squad at the moment. We have picked up a few injuries whilst this sort of international break has been on, so we got to make a few decisions here. Disasi isn't really capable of playing, so we'll bring Chukwuemeka onto the bench as well, and Conor Gallagher did pick up a bit of a knock as well, so in that box-to-box, I'm going to give Moise Caicedo a game. I don't think he's performed well at all for us so far, but hopefully we can change the tides today, and he can have a solid game in that box-to-box role. Maybe it's just not a role. Maybe I need to just be playing him back here as a sort of ball winner, but I just don't think it suits our style of play, so that's why I tend to avoid doing that. We've got a ton of wingers and strikers, and barely anyone capable of playing in the midfield. But overall, I think this team is looking pretty good. I would like to get Nkunku in, but I want to play Enzo Fernandez. This guy is a serial performer for us. He's been doing well. Although Nkunku did have a good game in the previous one. This is a horrible decision to make, because sometimes I wish I could just play like a 2 at the back with then a ton of attackers up the rest of the pitch. Given that, we've got a quick turnaround to Villa, I guess Nkunku, we need to keep players that are capable of playing in that game. With full fitness. So I think we'll go with this team for now, and then substitutions at halftime. Jimmy J. Morgan, one of our youth players, of course, has made the bench, so we will have to give him a shirt number. We'll give him 59. I don't know, it doesn't really matter all that much. I doubt he'll play, but he has made it onto the bench for the first time. Chilwell on the ball here, as we're going to look to get our first goal in this game. Unfortunately, we didn't get a goal within 20 seconds or whatever it was in the FA Cup, but I'll take a goal in the first 20 minutes instead. How about that, guys? Sterling on the ball here, finds Malo Gusto down the wing. He's going to whip it into the box, and oh my lord, I think that was Broja that just went for a bicey. And unfortunately, Lavia has taken a knock and it looks like a twisted knee, which is not one that you want to mess with. So in this deep line playmaker role, I might bring Enzo Fernandez back, and then we'll just have to bring Nkunku on to play up front. I think that works anyway. That's a pretty good trade-off. Enzo winning the ball back for us here and finding Malo Gusto out wide on the right-hand side. Can he find a cross into the box? He finds Nkunku, but it blocks off the defender and straight into Pickford's hands, unfortunately. Okay, halftime, we're looking stronger on the stats, but still not managed to get a goal here. So I'm going to say, well done on getting shots away, keep going. And I think I'm going to switch them to attacking, see if we can get a little bit more, impetus up front. And somehow Bro's gone from scoring 5 goals in the previous game to now having an absolute stinker. And we've got a free kick here, and Nkunku's going to take it. There is an opportunity to shoot, and I think he might do it. He does, and it looks like Pickford makes a good save there. Chilwell going to whip this one into the box, looking for Sterling for some reason at the back post. Obviously, he didn't win that, and now it's an Everton counter-attack. Hopefully, we can stop them here. I'd really be annoyed if we conceded now, because we have been on top for most of this game. It looks like they're trying to work down this left-hand side for them, but hopefully we can snuff this attack out. This should be a header that we win. Wow, Chilwell just goes for a crazy volley, but Mudryk headers it back for him. Colwell wins that header. Now Enzo finding Nkunku and Sterling. This is lovely play, but the pass is short from Sterling, and it gives them possession of the ball once again. I think I'm about to make a change on our wingers because neither of them are really performing, unfortunately, but we have Sterling here. As I say it, he shoots and goes way over. I think that's our cue to make a change here. Broya's having a bit of a stinker, so Jackson can come on. We also need to save players for the game 2 days away. So on the left-hand side, let's bring on Hazard. And screw it, we'll make a change on the right as well. Madueke can come on the right. And we are in the 91st minute here, and there is still no goal in this game. We have a free kick, and this is probably going to be one of the last chances of the game. It finds Fofana after a huge deflection, and somehow it looks like we're set to come out of this with a win. Let's take another look at that. It deflects off the wall, and Fofana first time volleys it. Doesn't even take a touch as it is flying through the air. And he manages to make a great connection with that one. And there is about 2 minutes left here. So we're either going to go and, double our lead, or this could be a devastating counter-attack from Everton. But Madueke in the box shoots and really should have scored there. But that should be full time. Oh my gosh, no. 95 minutes and 30 seconds on the clock. And there is a corner for Everton. I know how this ends from normal FM play, and if it does, I'm going to be fuming. Colwell clears. It was an awful corner, thank God. And we scrape a 1-0, even though we performed a lot better than that and deserved a lot more. So I'll tell them it was a bit of a let-off. I know it's going to piss some of them off, but at that point, I got to be honest, that was a pretty poor performance and took quite a bit of luck for us to actually get the win there. Manchester United did end up drawing with Brentford, so that is huge for us in that the rest of that pack behind falls a bit further away. Thankfully, Romeo Lavia is only out for about 3 to 5 days. He will miss that next fixture, unfortunately. Fofana deserves absolute praise for that because he saved our bacon there. But of course, that is going to be the end of the episode. In the next one, we will be facing off against Aston Villa and Bournemouth, both away fixtures, with quite a quick turnaround to these. So, injuries, got to keep an eye on those. But the main thing I need from you this episode, guys, is to let me know, what do you think about this Diogo Costa and Ivan Toney acquisition? Both, about 30 to 40 million transfers, and I think those are two that we should be confirming and getting in ready for next year. If you guys want to even see a second season, who knows if that's what you guys are looking for. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. I'll catch you on the next one. Make sure you leave a like on it, hit subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.